Hello, guys. It's Kelly Diane, of course, with Align with Dr. Kelly Diane. And I am so excited to be coming to you today to share this live, my very first question and answer session here on my live YouTube channel. And I'm super excited. I'm going to turn my phone down for a minute. And so I'm looking forward to anyone who has decided to join me to ask any questions that you have. Any concerns that you have, share any comments as well right here in the chat room. I hope everyone is having a great day here on this Saturday and staying safe. And once again, thank you so much for those of you who are joining me. And if you're new to my channel, of course, please take the opportunity right now, if you can, to hit the like button below, hit the subscribe button. Absolutely, absolutely share this video because it is women out there and men, of course, who needs to hear this information. They need to see the comments. They need to see that they are not alone here out in this world with this terrible, I don't know whether I should say epidemic or whatever, of dealing with narcissists. So I would absolutely love if you guys would share it. If you know anyone that it would resonate with, go ahead and share the video. And even if you're not sure if the individual is dating a narcissist, or even if you're not sure the individual is a narcissist, please go ahead and share this video. And so my desire today, of course, is to talk a little bit about narcissism, perhaps the videos that I've posted before, and kind of wrap up this series on narcissism so that I can start to begin to post different content. Also, if you guys have any content that you would love to see me post about, I am more than happy to do that. If it has anything to do with narcissism, self-love, self-help, anything that has to do with evolving yourself, involvement of self, I'm more than happy to do that. I'm going to check my phone. I think I'm getting some messages here. I'm getting messages here. And so I'm going to be reading off any messages that I have on here as well, and any of them that has been emailed to me. So also, guys, if you don't know, let me tell you a little bit about me if you have not clicked on the trailer. So I am Dr. Kelly Diane, PhD, CEO of Align with Dr. Kelly Diane, and also a Journey to Self-Life coaching and consultant. I am a certified life coach. I am also a registered nurse as well. I'm an ordained minister as well. So I am happy. Hi, JC. JC is on hello, hello. I am so happy that you guys have decided to join me. I have been doing this. I have been in this field for probably over 20 years. So I am not only a person who talks about it, but I've also lived the story. So what I've decided to do in my journey, of course, is to turn my pain into power and turn into purpose to help ladies all over the world discover themselves, rediscover themselves, align with themselves, walk in awareness, and of course, ascend into their higher self. Because we all know that once we ascend into our higher self, which is our God self, we then start to make different choices for ourselves. And so on this channel, as I've said before, we're here to evolve, to become better people, not to bash, not to throw stones, not to send out negative energy. This is a positive energy channel. So what I do here is speak to your soul, speak to your spirit, and hopefully you can speak back to mine. We're not here to call names or, use negative languages. This is an area that to me is sacred, and I want it to continue along the lines of that. So if you notice that in my videos, I'm not saying anything not negative energy wise. Now, I will refer to the narcissist as a demon because I absolutely do believe it's a demonic energy that has taken over that individual. So with that being said, today I've decided that, I'm going to answer any questions that you guys have, but I also would like to concentrate on one question that I get all the time. And the question I get, and I also understand I also had this question at first initially too. And so the question that I'm asked often, and I've done a video, and so I will continue to talk along that line. But the question is, is the narcissist happy with the new supply? Because what happens is that as we are trauma bonded and we've walked away or we've been discarded by the narcissist, we then begin to believe that he's now happy he or she is now happy in a new relationship. Of course, that is what the narcissists want us to think. That is what they want us to feel. It is all a part of them, once again, devaluing you. That is also in the devaluing video. And I've done several videos on does the narcissist, is the person happy? And also, what does the person have that I don't have? So with that being said, I'll start. First of all, how did you guys like the premiere? Did you guys like it? It was the very third and final series in the narcissistic cycle. So what I've tried to do is explain each of the cycles of the narcissistic, each of the phases of the narcissistic cycle, so that you will understand what has happened or what is going to happen. If it haven't happened yet, it's going to happen. So if you haven't had a chance, once this is over, I'll be here for probably 1 hour. Go back and watch those videos and gain some knowledge. And so everyone who has gone through narcissistic cycles with the individual is not going to always look the same. It's not going to always be in that cycle the way that I did it. I did the love bombing, which is the idealization. It's very hard for me to say that. And then the second one, of course, is the devaluation. Then the third is the discard. And that's the third one that just premiered right before this one. So depending on where you are in that phase is going to happen. Maybe not like that. Love bombing generally always happens first. Let me say that. But depending on where you are in the cycle, love bombing does repeat. It does repeat. So let me know how you feel about that video. If you enjoyed the video, if there's any content that you need me to post, because I only skimmed the surface of every one of these cycles. I mean, every one of these phases, I actually skimmed. It is so much more that I want to talk about. I want to speak about. I'm just curious to know what type of material you guys want to see, because it can go really, really deep. And understand that also with narcissism has quite a few levels to it as well. And I'm not really going to go into depth about that. That's just not really my field. It's just not my thing I want to do. You know, there's overt, covert, malignant narcissists, things like that. I'm not really going to go into that. I don't think I will. But what I want to do really is to just talk to you about what it looks like. What I want to do is to help the ladies, because once again, I am a woman's empowerment coach. And so my desire is to help the ladies move from pain to purpose. And so with that being said, I'm here to focus on the individual. But in order for me to help focus on the individual, I do understand that I have to let you guys know what's going on. So if you stumbled upon this channel, like I have stumbled upon quite a few other channels when I first went through my narcissistic discard phase, I stumbled upon a channel. Let me tell you a little bit about my story. So when I was going through it, I actually had no idea what was going on. I didn't know what the person was doing. I did not know what was going on. I really thought I was in this amazing, amazing relationship, right? This amazing relationship that I just knew was my soulmate. This person told me everything that I wanted to hear. They almost did everything I wanted them or needed them to do. They had on a 100% mask. And what I mean by that is when it was all said and done, nothing about that person was true at all. Nothing. You know, upon the discard phase and probably into now, I'm still finding out stuff about this person that I had no idea, that was so well hidden. And had I done more research, I probably would have found more. But at some point, I didn't want to know because of the fact that I was already gone. So what I did in the process was I was doing a research in the process of the discard. And for those of you who don't know, since I have this here, I have written a bestseller. It's called Soul Wounds. This is my book, Dr. Kelly Diane. It is on Amazon. You can get the ebook for $3.99 and also the hard copy. I think postage and handling will be $25, and this will come out. Or you can get it from me, and I can autograph you a copy and send to you. And I tell about my story of my narcissistic, two of my narcissistic relationships in that book. And it tells you, and I'll tell you some of the things I discovered as well. But so once again, let's go back to the question about whether the narcissist is happy with the new supply. So the new supply is the new person that the narcissist is with. And one of the things they're going to work very hard at doing once they discard you is throwing this new supply right in your face. They're going to throw it in your face because they want to punish you. They now want to punish you. They want to punish you for you discovering that they cheated on you. That's just the bottom line. They want to punish you because you have destroyed their whole idea of their perfect world. Because remember, they're delusional. They live in this false fantasy world. I mean, everything in it is not real. And so now you have destroyed that, right? And so they know that once you have destroyed it, or you got a peek beyond their mask, that now you're going to start to discover who they are. And they're going to punish you for trying to find out the truth, or for actually finding out the truth. They're going to punish you when you're trying to find it out, and they're definitely going to punish you when they find out that you know, right? So what they do is they have the new supply, perhaps let's say as a lady. And so what they'll start to do is they'll start to post pictures on social media, because they know that, one, you're a social media person. They know that you like to look around social media. It's so many different social media platforms out here. It's a lot of them out here. And so they're probably assuming that you're snooping. And usually what happens is when women break up with men because we're so attached, yes, we do snoop. We do ask questions. And so we think that in the discard phase, we have stumbled. In reality, we haven't stumbled. They have intentionally posted that picture, right? For you to see the picture. They want you to see everything they're doing. They want you to see how much better they're doing this relationship. They want you to see how happy they are with the new supply. They want you to believe that this person has everything that you never had, right? They want you to believe that they finally found their soulmate. They want you to believe that everything about yourself wasn't true, and that everything that about themselves is true. And that's why they were able to find another person. That's what they want to do to you. They want to torture you for finding out the truth. It is nothing more, nothing less. But with that being said, let's unpack this. What did the narcissist tell you when you first started dating the narcissist? The narcissist told you, let's make up some things. I'm going to throw some things out here. I've heard some things and I've been through some things. So I'm just going to throw out what I know. The narcissist has told you, oh, they had a terrible childhood. They weren't treated right. Their parents or their mom neglected them. Their mom was never home. They were bullied. So they come with a lot of childhood injuries now, and they could be true and they could not be true, right? But they're going to use that to move up in the world, right? They're going to use that to get what they need to play on your empathy. Right? As women, we're very empathetic. And so they're going to talk about their childhood. They're going to talk about something current, right? Oh, my family don't understand me. They never knew who I was. I'm the one who's a successful person. They don't really pay me any mind because they know how successful I am. But let's talk about the success. Let's think about this. We know they're not successful because we're with them. If you're with them long enough, you're going to start to realize that everything they have, they got from you. They've taken from you. They are not successful people. They're generally not successful. They've gotten successful, if so, on the backs of somebody else. This is not something that they've done. They have no original ideas. They just don't. And then they're going to tell you another thing they're going to tell you is about the ex-girlfriend, the ex-wife. Oh, she cheated on me. Oh, she lied. She doesn't understand me. She's not who I thought she was. They love saying that. She's not who I thought she was. Or they love to say, oh, she was crazy. Oh, she was controlling. Or she just wouldn't let me be me. They're going to tell you all of these things. And you're going to come. Generally, what happens, and once again, I'm talking about myself too, we're coming in as the hero, right? We're coming in to save the day of this narcissist that we don't know is a narcissist, just to say to them that I got you back. We're going to do this together, right? Because he has now convinced us that he's this amazing person and nobody understands him. But let's think about this, ladies. Let's unpack this. If he was just that amazing, why is he single? That's the first thing you should ask him. Why is he single? It's depending on the age. I'm in my 50s. So depending on the age of the narcissist, you have to ask, why is he single? Right? Because he's going to come to you like he has all his stuff together, but then he's going to throw a little side note in there. He's going to probably say something like, but I ain't perfect. I'm just trying to figure things out. He got to throw one little piece in there to make you say, okay, yeah, he's not, maybe he is telling the truth. He's acting, guys. He's acting because what he's done was told you everything that he has done to his ex. They loved it because remember, narcissists are people who do not believe that they've done anything wrong. They are people who believe that they don't believe they're ever going to do anything wrong. And so they don't take accountability for the things that they've done. They do not self-reflect. It's just not a part of what they do. It's a part of their disorder, because it is a personality disorder, is they don't self-reflect. And self-reflect requires for you to sit down and think about what you're doing and what you've gone through and how you could do better. So generally, after we get out of a relationship, the first thing we do is we self-reflect about what we could have done differently and how we could have been a better person for ourselves, right? They don't do that, right? That's why they jump from person to person. They don't change themselves. They just change partners. That's what narcissists do. They don't take the time out to sit by themselves. They can't sit by themselves. You'll notice that narcissists are people who are never by themselves. They cannot sit by themselves because when they sit by themselves, it's going to force them to think. And if they are by themselves, more than likely they have vices. And what do I mean by that? They probably drink to get through the day, every day, if not all day. They're probably smoking to get through the day. I am trying to mute this phone is just keep doing all types of stuff. They're trying to smoke, they're probably smoking whatever substance to get through the day. They're probably doing drugs. You may not even know this, or they could be doing all three. They may have another addiction to, they may gamble. They love porn. One day I'm going to do a session on a narcissist and sex, but they love porn. They have a lot of secret vices that we don't know about. Yeah, we don't know. We don't dig deep enough. Yeah, they really have a lot of stuff that I cannot begin to tell you the yuckiness that I found out. I mean, narcissists are also trisexual. They'll try anything with anybody, right? Which means that if it's a male, he's probably sleeping with another male, or he's doing something to make the male think that he's going to sleep with them. They are doing everything. They're doing any and everything. You have no idea the things that they do because they have no empathy. So they don't care how it affects you. It's only how it serves them. Right. So they're willing to try anything if they have not already tried everything that they can get away with. So I have a question that says, do parents create narcissists? From my research, I understand that, parents can create narcissists. And generally, how do I say that? That's where it comes, because most of the time, the trauma that is the narcissist has become a narcissist because of the trauma that they have acquired in childhood. It could be because they had one narcissist parents, okay? The parents are narcissists, or one of the parents are a narcissist, or because of the way that their parents treated them. A lot of times it could be a situation where what the narcissists do as an adult is what the parents did to them as a child. Let me put it like that. So the narcissist gaslight. Let me give you a good example of gaslighting. I gotta see, but I can think of one as an adult. Let me give you a scenario. Say you tell your child, or a parent tell their child to tell them what's wrong. You can tell me what's wrong. You can tell me what's wrong. Come on, I'm your mommy. You can tell me anything. You can tell me what's wrong, what's going on, what you're upset about. And so then the child goes to the parent and finally decides to tell the parent what's going on, what's wrong, and what's happening. And then all of a sudden the parent uses that against them. And so, they may start yelling and screaming, and how dare you think that, and how dare you do that? And the child is thinking, but I thought I could tell you, I could trust you with what's going on. Granted, as parents, we may not like what we heard, but our reaction really means a lot to that child. And so, yes, we can absolutely create narcissistic children. And a parent doesn't have to necessarily be a narcissist to create a narcissistic child, because you can. You have a lot of people that I've noticed in my practice that says their parent was at home. And so if you are a child that's raising yourself and you've been abandoned, you're home all the time, you're abandoned and you're taking care of other children, and you're only 5 years old or 6 years old, that will create a narcissist, because a narcissist has no empathy. They disconnect from themselves. And so what they do is they learn to survive. They learn the only way they can survive is through manipulating people, because they can't get what they want from their parents. And so since they can't get what they want from their parents, they've used or they've learned a way to get what they want from their parents eventually. And then they realize, oh, that's working. And what happens is they grow up and continue the same cycle of the things they did when they was young, because they were not in a very secure environment. They were not in a healthy environment. They were in a toxic environment. So yes, narcissists definitely come from toxic environments. They've definitely, and I think science shows that, because from what I understand, narcissists there's not a medical treatment for narcissists. One, because they never admit anything is wrong with them, ever, ever. And if they do it, it's only because they know that they're going to gain something from it. But understand that their words and their actions are two different things. They will say it, but their actions does not show that they understand that something's wrong with them. You know, they may say something like, oh, yeah, well, maybe it was my fault. But then they're going to do it again. And you're wondering how they acknowledge that and then turn around and repeat the same behavior because they never meant it in the first place, but they understood that that was going to make you quiet or it was going to gain some type of fuel from you. So narcissists are very good at emulating people, right? They're very good at copying everything that they see because they study people. They have no identity. Remember, they left that identity when they were babies. They abandoned it in their childhood. And so what they do is they spend a lot of time studying you and your ways, studying each of their suppliers, each of their women or men to find out how to react, right? I had a narcissist that gave me something and saw me get really, really excited about it, right? He didn't really understand it. So what he did subsequently was start to do the same thing with other women, because at that point he realized that he could get some type of reaction out of them, because narcissists operate on fuel. And fuel, and what I mean by that, they operate on the energy, right? Your energy. So they want positive fuel and they want negative fuel. To them, it's still fuel. It doesn't really matter how they get it. It's still going to be something that makes them feel like they're being seen, because these are people who feel like they've not been seen. They've been rejected. They've been humiliated. They've been abandoned. And so they'll do anything to feel like they're being seen, right? So if that means they're going to curse at you and you're going to curse back, then at that point they feel validated because now you've acknowledged their existence. Also, if you do anything positive, of course, you know, they're going to love positive, because at that point, you've also acknowledged their existence, because narcissists like to be admired. They like to be adored. They like to be uplifted. They like to be the center of attention. They like anything where they're being seen. They love to be seen. They love to take credit for stuff that they did not do, right? Narcissists don't do anything, but they take the credit for it. I do know one narcissist I would date, and I would put I would tip the waiter, because once again, these people never have money, right? So he never had money. It was always me who had the bill. But then I would tip the waiter and leave it on the table. And what did this narcissist do, guys? The narcissist went and picked up the money and ran and chased behind the waiter to give it to him, because they needed that reaction from that waiter, right? You can't make this stuff up, but that's what they did. And at the time, I didn't know it was a narcissist. And I was like, that's really weird, because I know, you know, when they come back and clean the table, the tip is there. And I generally just leave my tips on the table. I'm going to answer some questions in a second, but I generally just leave my tips on the table knowing they're going to come back. But every time we went out, he would grab the money and he would chase behind the person to get the fuel, so they can say, oh my God, thank you so much. One, it wasn't even his money, it was my money, but he got the credit for it. But two, he got the adoration that he wanted, right? That's narcissism. That's the type of things they would do. Someone said, is it genetic? From what I understand, it is not a genetic component. They have not found anything. I could be mistaken, but from my research, that it is not genetic. It is something that is caused. And that's why it's not treatable, because I believe it's not genetic. So they can't look at an MRI and say, hey, this person has narcissist, and it's called NPD, because it's a personality disorder, right? It's a disorder in their personality. It's not a medical disorder where they can pretty much do genetic testing and look on an MRI and see a difference in the MRI, which is the photograph of the brain. It's a personality disorder. So they don't know, how do you treat something that you can't really see on a film when you can't draw blood to see. You really can't. Attention seekers, they are absolutely attention seekers. Because remember, everything about a narcissist is fuel. So everything they want is geared towards getting attention, once again, negative or positive, right? So think about it as a child. Let's talk about children, right? Let's talk about children. Because remember, narcissists are children. They're stuck. They're adult bodies with children's personalities, right? So this is normal in children. Children are narcissists, okay? They have narcissistic features. They're supposed to at some point, because the only thing they know is their parent. Their lifeline is their parent. The baby is born. They need their mom to feed them. They need their mom to change them. They need mommy and daddy to do these things to protect them, right? So that's normal. That's the only way we can survive, because we have the brain of a child. Right? The Bible says, as when I was a child, I acted and spoke as a child. But when I became adult, I put away my childish ways. Narcissists don't put away their childish ways. They're stuck in that age level in which the trauma has occurred. So if it was 7, that's how they're going to act, like a 7-year-old, right? So a child, for instance, I'm laughing because I have children, and so I've seen them do this, but I mean, that's normal. So a little child, you can give them a toy. Say they're sitting at the high chair, and you give them a toy, right? And so what they do is they drop the toy on the floor and they look down like, wow. Because at that time, they're trying to, I guess, assimilate the fact that there's a toy in their hand and then it's going to drop and it's going to hit the ground. Because normally we stop the child from hitting the ground, so they're going to let something else hit the ground. They're going to throw the toy and they're going to look over it innocently because they're amazed. And so as parents, what do? We pick it up and we give it back to them, right? And here's your toy, baby. Here's your toy. And we're thinking they're going to hold on to their toy. They dropped it. What they're going to do? They're going to pick it up and they're going to drop it again, right? They're going to pick it up and go, whoop. And then you're looking down like, wow, they did it again. Maybe they dropped it again. And at that point, the child has figured out, if I drop this toy, somebody's going to pick it up. Somebody is going to pick it up. And we do pick it up because we thinking they need their toy. I mean, this is child number 1. By the time you get to child number 2, you've already figured out the game, right? So you pick up the toy and you give it to them, and then sometimes you may sternly say, don't throw the toy down there, baby. You're gonna break it. It may break. You don't do that. The baby doesn't understand anything you're saying. Don't throw the toy down there. It's gonna break, and mommy can't afford to buy another one. And so you set it there and you walk off, and what happened? Lo and behold, boop, it's hit the floor again. Because now they realize they got you running back and forth. They got your attention. Every time they drop that toy, here comes somebody. Here comes mommy. Here comes brother. Here comes daddy. Every time, and it's giving them attention. And what you'll notice is that they start laughing. You know, they pick up the toy, you give them the toy, and they're laughing. You're like, why are you laughing? You keep dropping the toy because they are getting the attention that they need, which is fine because they're a child. At some point, you can't play that game with them anymore, though. And so, then the next time you do it, they throw it on the ground, and you come back and you may sternly say, listen, mommy said, we're not doing this anymore. And they're looking at your facial expression. They're studying your facial expression. And they may even look you right in the face and still drop the toy anyway. Because at that point, they still have your attention, right? But what you'll notice is that as they get older, they'll stop doing that. They will stop because they start to understand that facial expression is a no, I can't do this. But with narcissists, they don't. And so they continue along the same line of, let me drop something to get attention. Be it negative or positive. They do it in every arena. They do it on their job. They do it in relationships. A narcissist can't even have a good night with you because if it's too calm and quiet, they're going to start an argument. They're going to start an argument. They may start an argument about why didn't you wash the clothes on a Friday when they know for years you've been washing clothes on Saturday. And you're looking at them like, what are you talking about? Yeah, that's a gaslighting thing, by the way. What do you mean? I always wash clothes on Saturday. And it's like, no, you wash them on Friday. See, they're gaslighting you. They know for a fact that you do it on Saturday. But because it's too quiet, it's too calm, and they have to have some type of fuel, they have to start an argument. So now they drawn you into their crazy, chaotic world of you second guessing what you already know so they can get attention. And you wonder, why are they doing that? They're doing that because it gets them attention. It gets them the energy, the energy that they need because they're bored. Narcissists get bored very, very easily. That is why they discard you. That is why they go into other relationships because they're bored with you. They've already, once they figured you out or figured everything out about you, and you're thinking everything's fine. We've gotten to this plateau in a relationship where everything's fine. I understand him. He understands me. We can just have fun. We can live happily ever after. Absolutely not. At that point, they're going to discard you because now they figured you out. You're boring to them because you're only a toy. As I've mentioned before in my other videos, we're objects to a narcissist, and they only collect objects. The same way I collect plants, they collect people as objects, right? And they tend to them when they feel like it. But when they get bored with it, they want something new. You're at that point doing a discard, like I said in my video, you're the old toy. They don't want the old toy anymore. They want something new and shiny because it's like a little kid in a Toys R Us, in a toy store. You see one thing, they say, oh my God, this mommy, I want this. And you get it for them. And in 2 days, they're done. And you're like, but what happened to that toy I got you? Well, I don't really want that. I want a new one. And I want a new one because they're bored. Their attention span is just like that. They're bored. They want something new. They don't want the same old toy. They don't want the same person, which, like I said, they consider us to be objects. So they get bored very, very easy and they move on. And that's the thing you have to understand. They move on during the discard phase. But I think, I'm not sure if I put this in my video, but not only do they move on during the discard phase, but they come back because that new toy, they get bored with that new toy. And so with a new toy, they're bored, all the shininess is off of it. Then they want to go back to the old toy because they want all the toys, right? They don't want to just leave you for a new toy. They want to temporarily put you on a shelf for a new toy and then come back. Think about it. Who does that? Little kids. That's what they do. They want all the toys, mine, 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 mine. But as a child, that's normal because that's all they know. As you get older and start to assimilate and act and understand life, you understand that you don't need to do this anymore. That these things are separate from you. Babies don't understand that things are separate from them. Narcissists are babies. They are grown babies, and they are very demonic people because most of them have chosen to take on other entities, to get into black magic, anything that makes them feel empowered because they don't know how to empower themselves, right? Why? They don't know how to empower themselves because they have disconnected from their soul. They're demons. They're absolutely demons. And when you have disconnected from your soul, you can't manifest anything. Manifestation comes from the above, the creator, the God above. And so when you manifest, you take from above and you bring below. They don't do that because one, they don't believe in a higher power. Trust me, they don't. You have ministers who are ministering in the pulpit. They don't believe in God. They're only doing that because they're getting money. And it gets them the accolades, the attention, the adoration, the admiration. These people go home and live the lives of the worst demons ever. Some of them are in covens. They are in. They belong to cults. But in the public eye, they're standing on the pulpit, pretending to be what they're not. And that's why so many people will actually say something about a lot of people in the church. Why do they act like that? Because they have on a mask in church, but behind, when the door closes, they're a completely different person. And that's the same thing a narcissist does in a relationship. They appear to other people on the outside of the relationship to be this perfect person or this really good person, right? But to you see a different side because you see the mask go up and down, and you're like, trying to tell your family this person is not who you think they are, and your family is not going to hear it. No more than a minister in the church. The pulpit, the members are not going to believe that, unless they've gotten to see that mask slip. And even sometimes when they do, what do? They justify it. And so the question is, are they capable of loving their own children? Well, first of all, narcissists don't love. They don't love. And here's the thing with narcissists. You can have some narcissistic features, but not be a narcissist, right? You can have some tendencies, but not be a narcissist. A narcissist has no empathy. And when I mean no empathy, they don't care what they do. They're not critical thinkers, so they don't even care if it affects you. It's only about them. And they will sometimes tell you it's not about you. And they're really telling you the truth. It's not about you because everything is about them. And so they can't love their kids. Now, what they will do is they will use their kids to get what they need. In other words, if you're in a relationship or went through a divorce and you have children with this narcissist, the narcissist is going to post pictures like they've done this and they've done that. And, oh, look at my star child. He graduated from college. He's getting straight A's. My daughter is in a sorority. They're always bragging about what their kids did. But 9 times out of 10, if not 10 times out of 10, they haven't seen these children in forever. They haven't seen them. They only want to post about the benefits because they know somebody's going to say, oh, because remember, social media, congratulations, I'm so proud of you. You're a good dad. You're a good mom, so on and so forth. And the other parent haven't seen that child, that missing parent in forever. Even if they're supposed to pick up the children from, say you've gone through court and you've gotten this parental custody establishment, established in court, they're probably not going to show up because they don't really want the children. And I've told women this over and over again. They don't want the children. They're objects. They only want them to elevate them. So that means let's get together and take this beautiful, perfect picture so people can say, oh, they're the perfect family. That's what they're going to do. because they know it's going to get them accolades, that someone's going to smile. Someone's going to say, oh my God, look at that wonderful family. It's all a picture. Everything for the narcissist is an act. It's all an act. It is all a fake fantasy world. And then she said, let's see, do you think you can play the same game with them? How can you beat them to the punch? Now, my thoughts are this. Well, I think I beat them to the punch. That's because I studied it. And once I studied it, I beat them to the punch. And the best way to beat a narcissist to the punch, honestly, if you're in a relationship or you're out of a relationship or you're going through a divorce, is to go no contact. Go no contact. Leave them. Don't contact them anymore. Don't reach out on social media. Change your number if you have to move. That's the best way to beat them. But secondly, the best way to beat them, if you really want to make them angry, and this is the truth, is get your life back together. Get your life back together. Get back on your feet. Stop being depressed. Get your energy back together. Start achieving the things that you were achieving when you first got to him. Because think about it, when we're being discarded, we're generally depressed. We're sad. We don't know what to do. We can't get out the bed. The family members know we're depressed. Some people are suicidal. Some people have committed suicide. We just do not know what to do, because when they discard us, they generally discard us during a time when we really, really need them. Like it could be the death of a family member, the death of a friend, your mom, your parents. They make sure they discard you during the time when you need them most, because they figured if they do that, then you're going to come back chasing behind them, because you're so distraught because you got discarded and your parent or somebody died. So they're going to always discard you during that time. Or perhaps you're sick. That's what happened with me. I was sick. And so, I was going through some surgeries. And so I got discarded during that time. But the best way to get a narcissist back is to live your best life. Live your best life. Get up, brush yourself off, get yourself together, go after that degree you wanted, that high school diploma you wanted, go after that, go get those dresses you always wanted to wear, get your hair the way you wanted to wear it, get your neck. Do you, take care of you and love on you. That would absolutely destroy a narcissist, because they think or believe that they left you for death. They think they left you for dead, because they're soul snatchers and they only come to snatch your soul. So they're thinking, I left her for dead. She'll be back because she can't live without me, because they're delusional. They really think that you can't live without them. But your actions sometimes will show them that you can't live without them. And, so that's why they know it's been effective. They've done it many times before, and the person that they were with has come back and begged them to come back. And so because they know this has worked numerous times, they keep doing the same thing. They repeat the same cycle with the same people over and over again. So I'm pretty sure what my narcissists, not my narcissists, because I don't claim them. And we need to stop claiming them, because they're not our narcissists. They are a narcissist. But the narcissist thought he left me for dead. He thought I was never going to recuperate. I was never going to get myself together. But here I am. I'm fine. I've got my life together. I went through my surgeries. I'm back on my feet. Everything is going fabulous. So the best way to get back at a narcissist is to get your self-esteem together, get your counseling that you need, get your friends back that he made you abandon, because I know he did. They separate you from your friends. They separate you from your family. They separate you from everybody, because once they get you separate, then they can continue to get to your mind and mind control you. And then the interesting thing is they'll separate you and then tell you, oh, they never loved you in the first place. Look who's here. I'm here. I'm sure. Listen, if that has happened to you, please put it in the chat. That's what they do. They separate you. They isolate you, and then tell you that your family and friends never wanted you in the first place, but that they are there. Because, see, they have to be the hero. But what they're not telling you is they've gone behind your back and triangulated you against them and told that person more than likely that you didn't want to be bothered with them, right? But you don't know that. You don't know he's in the ear of your best friend or your family member or your daddy or whoever and say, she never really liked you in the first place. So that person is thinking something negative and you're thinking something negative. So you guys are not together, and the narcissist is laughing and he's playing both sides and he's saying, see, I told you they didn't want you. And you're thinking, oh, wow, they didn't show up. They didn't. Well, you don't know that they went behind your back and texted them, sent them an email and told them some horrendous stuff that you may have shared with them. Like you may have said, well, we don't really get to, in first grade, she didn't show up for my concert or something. I'm really upset about that. So you share these intimate thoughts with this narcissist, and the narcissist is going to go back to that person that you're pretty close to, right? And tell them what you said and say, don't say anything because, she don't really like you. It's not even like that, right? We know it's not, but he's going to say she doesn't really like you. She didn't really want you to come around anyway, right? So that person is going to stay away from you, and you're wondering why you're not talking. It's because he's gone behind your back and told her what you said to her, made it twist the words and made it way worse, because he got to make it way worse to the person so they'll stay away, so that he can keep being the knight in shining armor in your life. It is really real. Someone said, hi, Dr. Kelly, do they ever stop bothering you? Do they have the capacity to just move on with their life? To that, let me tell you, they absolutely will not stop bothering you. They will not stop bothering you. Do they have the capacity? Narcissists don't have the capacity. The only way that they will move on with their lives, and they can be very dangerous people. They can kill. That's the thing. They can kill because they are very jealous, obsessive people once you leave, because they don't see you apart. Remember, they think that they believe that you are an extension of them, right? Just like my hair is an extension of me. They think this is you're not allowed to go anywhere. You're theirs. And they will stalk you probably for the rest of your life. They're known to do that. They hoover, they stalk, they send people after you, spying on you. They do all types of things, because how dare you escape them? Because let's unpack this. What happens is that they're very insecure people. They come in as they're very secure, but they're very insecure people, right? And so when you leave them, or they cheat on you and you walk away, like I said, it's your fault that you walked away because they cheated. But when you do that, then at that point they feel rejected. And one of the issues a narcissist has, I think the number one is rejection. But they feel rejected because you didn't stay around for their nonsense. It's sick. But that's how they're seeing it. So now they want to punish you for leaving them because they cheated on you. That's how they do it. And so what do? They won't stop bothering you. They won't stop bothering you. They want to see you suffer. They're going to keep calling. They're going to keep texting. They're going to make fake Facebook pages, YouTube pages, every social media. They're going to make pages. They're going to have flying monkeys. That's something I haven't addressed yet. I will do a video on that. But these are the people who they have gotten to be on their side, who they've convinced that they're so great. And then they're going to come harass you, right? They're going to ask to be friends on your page. They're going to ask because they're going to spy on you. You know how in the Wizard of Oz, was the Wizard of Oz, I think, and the Wiz, when they had the flying monkeys that would go back and report to the witch and to the Wiz, that's what they are. They go back and spy on you to come back to bring the information to the narcissist so he would know your every moves. So don't be surprised if you're out somewhere and the narcissist so happened to end up there. And they're like, oh, wow, I just happened to come here at this bar and get a drink, because he knows you show up at 7:00 every night. So he just happened to show up there, or he happened to show up. If you have any type of routine and you've been with the narcissist, he knows the routine. And so what he's going to start to do is he's going to inject himself into your routine, because they're very entitled. They believe that they can do what they want to do when they want to do, and you better not do anything. So though I laugh about some of this stuff, some of it is very serious. It's not really serious. People have died behind having narcissists in their family or in their lives, because they come to kill, steal, and destroy. Somebody said that's deep. Yeah, it is very deep, because it's so many, we try to get restraining orders on these type of people, and narcissists are so smart. They're not smart, but they're so manipulative. They manipulate judges. You see what I'm saying? They manipulate the law. They manipulate psychiatrists, therapists, because they have studied them. And so what they do is they convince the therapist, the judge, or whoever, that is not them, that is you. They will convince them. I know of stories where people have gone to marriage counseling with the narcissist, and by the time they finish, the narcissist has become friends with the therapist, and the therapist think it's not the narcissist, but it's the other person. And these people have bragged to me about it. And, and they're like, oh my God, by the time I left out of there, I had the therapist believing, they believed everything I said. Well, that's because the therapist was not versed in narcissism, right? The therapist did not study it like I did. You know what I mean? Certain people haven't studied it. And so I always tell people, when you go to seek a marriage counselor, make sure they're versed in NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. Make sure your lawyer is versed in NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, or toxic relationships. Because if they don't, these narcissists are going to get you good in court. You have to have a person who knows how to defend you against that type of person. it's imperative that you do your research. Don't just pick any lawyer. Make sure you pick one who has done this for a living, that knows that's what's going on. And I can actually, there is a great lawyer on YouTube that I follow who that's what she does for a living. And she posts some excellent videos about what to do when you're in a relationship with a narcissist. You're trying to get out the legal way. I'm not legal. I'm not legal at all. I am a medical professional, but I'm not a legal person. And so she gives great legal advice about what to do and how to get how to find a lawyer. And I will try to post it if I can. I'll try to find a way to do that. Someone said, do you think Joe from the show is one? Joe is absolutely a narcissist. Absolutely a narcissist. It's another movie, if you guys haven't seen it. It is called Dirty John. I believe it's on Netflix. It's called Dirty John. Dirty John is a 100% story of a narcissist based on a true story. You got to watch it. It was really good. I think it's about 6 episodes to it. Absolutely great predicament. I mean, a great analogy of a narcissist. I could tell you another story of a narcissist, Ike and Tina. Ike was one. Look at what he did. Look at what he did, how he came in, he used her name and how he wanted her and how her self-esteem was so low because she had abandonment issues and he used that against her. And then he turned her mother against the daughter. Ike turned Tina's mother against her and had her on his side, right? Because he was able to give her money, but the money he was giving the mother was actually Tina's money. But if you watch it carefully, you'll see how the discard went, how I came back and how he kept switching up the personalities. He had like 10 personalities. And once I studied narcissism and I went back and watched that movie, I was like, oh my God, I noticed this. And it was so powerful. It wasn't even funny anymore because at that point I understood what Tina was trying to say about what was going on with Ike. And she said it was so much more to it that she left it out, right? So it's real stories out here, and these people don't because they feel like they're not going to go anywhere, especially if they see that you're succeeding and you're moving on and you're doing better without them. They hate that. They hate that because one, that means you have destroyed the ideas they had in their mind about how perfect they are. Because how are you supposed to do good without them? How dare you do good without them? Because they've convinced you that one, you can't, and also convinced the other people that there was something wrong with you. So if you start to do good, look good, and get yourself together, then people are going to start to notice it wasn't her. I think it was him. You see what I'm saying? Because he's going to be still doing the same toxic cycle, dating somebody else, leaving bad energy with other people, as I've always say, like Pigpen on Charlie Brown with the dirt around him. That's a narcissist. So everything he touches, he's going to destroy. It's bad, low vibrational energy. And so people are going to look at you elevating and see how good you're looking, how well you're doing in school, how you're moving, buying houses, cars, college, and your kids look great. You look great. And then this guy's over here repeating the same cycle, destroying somebody else. Because it starts out like a beautiful picture if you look at it, but really quickly, it's going to be destroyed because narcissists can't maintain relationships. And generally, if they do, it's because one, the woman has not awakened to see what's going on and she just doesn't have enough self-esteem to get herself out of it. Or two, they're dating another narcissist. That's the only reason they can stay in there, right? Do the narcissists know what they are doing, or is it just them? Like just who they are in person? Well, the narcissists, I've read somewhere with a narcissist because they've been doing it for so long. Some of them don't know that they first of all, they don't know they're narcissists. Let's start there. And never call them. Do not ever call a narcissist a narcissist. You don't ever want to do that. If you know it, keep it to yourself. Don't tell them that. But one, and because they're going to tell you you're the narcissist, but don't do that because they're dangerous people. But no, sometimes they say they don't know. Some of them don't know. They don't know they're narcissists. Let's say that. They definitely don't know that because they haven't self-reflected. In order to know that you have something wrong with yourself, you have to self-reflect. They don't do that. They don't go within. They don't do the work. They never accept that they were wrong. They don't accept you. If they cheat on you, they're going to say it was your fault. If they hit you, it's your fault. If they don't come home, it's your fault. If they don't pick up the kids from school, it's your fault. So they never stop and say, yeah, I guess I did do that and I shouldn't have done that. They don't do that. And if they do it, it's because it's an act to get what, they want. Like, for instance, say you have a lot of money. Yeah, they might say it because they want your money. So they only in relationships to get what they can get from you. They're not in relationships to give you anything. They're takers. They take. They may give you money, but you better believe they're going to get it back. They're gonna loan it to you, right? or give it to you, but they're going to get it back within a week or two's time because it don't work like that. I know some narcissists who have moved in together, right? Promising to be with this person, they moved in together, right? And so what they've done is when they moved in, they don't put their name on a lease. They don't. If you notice, narcissists don't generally put their name on things, right? They let you put your name on it because one, more than likely, you had the better credit, but two, because when they roll out, they want to leave that all on you. They're going to dump everything, the house mortgage, the car. They're going to leave it all on you. It's happened to me. And so I'm left with the ticket, the ticket of everything. I had to pay everything because they rolled out and went to somebody else. And they do that a lot in relationships. They leave you with the kids. They leave you with all the bills. And if you don't pay it, it's going to mess your credit up. But they don't care anything about that. They don't care anything about credit, right? Because their credit is messed up anyway. So they're going to go into somebody else that got great credit. And then they're going to mess up that person's credit. And then they're going to go into somebody. But they're like ticks. They jump from person to person, depending on how fresh the fuel is. They need new blood all the time. They need a new person, a new pair of shoes, and generally when you meet them, they have nothing, right? They generally come with nothing but a story about what they had. Or if they have it, it's in storage, so they say. But they generally have nothing because they've left the last relationship with nothing because they had nothing. Nothing was theirs. If you meet a woman who has a house and car and you're using her for the house and car, it's many narcissists riding around now in somebody else's car. And so when a woman is tired, she takes the car back and you meet him, he has no car, but he's going to tell you the story about how he gave his car to his mama or how he lost his job and just got repossessed and he's just going to get another one. So they're going to come with a lot of stories. And they say, wow, they never change. No, they don't ever change. If they are a true narcissist, not a person with narcissistic features, because we all got some of that in us, right? But if they're a true narcissist, no, they're never going to change. They grow old and they die alone because by then they've already destroyed all of their friends. All their families have turned against them. People will say this person just never changed because at some point they give you when you're younger, in your 30s, people are saying, yeah, well, they're just trying to figure out who they are. And at 40s, they're thinking, oh, well, it's time for them to get their life together. But when you're in your 50s and 60s, at that point, they say you don't change. So no, they don't change. They die alone. I've seen some people who've died alone. Nobody at the bedside, no family. And they have family members that's alive, but they won't have anything to do with them because they've robbed them, cheated on them, destroyed them, stole their credit, stole their identity. They've done so much stuff to them in these various scenarios that the family don't want to have anything to do with them. So they die alone. And these narcissists are absolutely petrified of dying. They're terrified of dying. They are terrified of dying. And they're worse. And the two things they don't like is to be rejected. They don't like to be alone and they're terrified of dying. Somebody say, I think I escaped one. That's good. That's good because I definitely escaped quite a few of them. But understanding these people hoover. And what is hoovering? Hoovering is like the vacuum cleaner Hoover. You guys know about that? It's a vacuum cleaner that they used to sell door to door and it sucks everything up. That's what they're doing. They're hoovering. In other words, they're coming around and watching everything you're doing, right? They have social medias that's not real. They have the flying monkeys that's watching. They're looking for one little inkling of light to get in. It's holiday season, ladies. It's holiday seasons. This is when they're going to hoover the most. Because at this point, they want to figure out how they can get to you and say, well, I was thinking about you and, it wasn't that bad. And maybe I'll just do you mind if I drop a present off to you? I'm just going to put it on the door. They just want to do anything for you to answer and to react, right? If you have kids, it's a little bit more difficult, but you can do it. It can be done. You just have to be trained or talk to someone such as myself who can teach you how to do that. But yeah, they're absolutely going to hoover you. They're going to, if you got kids, they're going to say, oh, the kids miss me. They want to see me. I'm thinking about the kids. They're going to do everything they can do to get back in. They're going to say something like, yeah, I heard, because remember they got flying monkeys. So they're getting information from the flying monkeys too. So perhaps say your cousin said your mom isn't feeling well and that cousin is a flying monkey of his. And he tells the cousin, because remember they're spies. And then so he's going to get back to you and say, oh, I heard your mom isn't feeling well. He's going to send you an email, text message, whatever. Some of them are bold enough to show up at your door. These people are sick. I cannot say how sick they are. They're really, really sick people because remember, a person that has no empathy will do anything. A person with no empathy will kill because that's what they do. They have no empathy. They don't care, right? They do not respect your boundaries. And I think earlier in here, I saw someone say, how do I find out if someone is a narcissist? Well, one of the things you'll notice is they don't respect boundaries. You can put up all the boundaries. Well, they got in, first of all, because you had no boundaries, let's be honest. But when you start to put the boundaries up, they don't respect them. They're very entitled. Most narcissists don't follow the law. Look how they drive. They don't stop at stop signs. They don't follow the law because they don't believe in a higher power and they don't believe that the law applies to them. They're in a fantasy world. It's almost like Don Quixote, if you ever read the book in school, where he's just going on about his life and he's walking, he fall off down a hill because he's not paying attention to anything. And that's narcissists. They are delusional people. And they're in a world of their own, which means that whatever exists in their world exists. It is not the same world that we're in. And so that's why you have to be careful, because they have no boundaries and they also do not respect your boundaries. So if you said, I had one who I was talking to and I said, don't call me after 9 o'clock. Well, of course he called me after 9 o'clock, because how dare I tell him not to call me after 9 o'clock? And I told him very clearly, I said what I said, right? And so I think he tried it one other time. And guess what? He got the boot, because I'm not tired. You have to have your boundaries up strong. You have to have them there because they know that you don't have boundaries, and that's why they're there. You know, they know that you will tolerate cheating and you're going to stay there. You're going to stay in a relationship. They know that they can hit you and you're going to stay there. When you have boundaries up, I think I did a video on boundaries, but when you put those boundaries up, you have to keep them solid. You can't lower them. They have to be what they are. It has to be, I said what I said, and you have to stick with it no matter how it feels, because these are adult people. These are not little kids, right? In their mind, they're little kids, but they're adults, right? So you have to say no is no. Don't make your no maybe. Make your no be no, and don't change your mind, because they're looking for you to do that, because they know you so well. They were like, oh, and I'm going to tell you another thing about narcissists. They've studied people so well. They generally know how long you're going to be angry. One of the people I was with that was a narcissist said to me, I knew he was coming back. And I said, why did you think I was coming back? And I went back for another reason than when he thought. It wasn't to go back to him, but just to look that demon in the eye. And he said, because, after about 2-3, you don't stay angry longer than 2 or 3 months. Well, guess what? It's been 2 years now. He has not heard from me, but they already studied. They know, but, and let me go back to that. But the people that he was messing with, they have come back. I've seen it with my own eyes. I have not come back, right? I haven't come back, and I can show you how to not come back. I can show you how to do it, but they do. They study you, and they know, especially if you were married to them, they know how empathetic you are. They know how, I'm going to scroll down on these questions. They know how emotional you can be, because when you were in a relationship with them, right? And so because you were in a relationship with them, they know you very well, and they know what you're going to do. And so they're going to use that. There we go. They're going to use that as fuel to get in wherever they can get in, whatever little hole they can get in. Like I was sitting here thinking, they're like those stink bugs. I cannot figure out how those stink bugs keep getting in my house, and they can find a way to get through anything, right? If you don't make sure everything is dotted and crossed and stuff like that, they're going to find a way. Somebody say, I'm going to need a private Q&A. That'd be great. So listen, because we're coming to a close at 57 minutes. So what I have to say is this, ladies and gentlemen, please be careful out here while dating. One of the things, this is what I tell people. When you're dating, ask the person that you're dating, what is it that they like about you? Say, what is it that you like about me? Now, if they tell you that they like that you're beautiful, they like that you are talented, you're studious, you're articulate, if they say things like that, okay. Now, if they say to you, I like the way you make me feel. I like the way you rub my back. I like the way you come meet me at nighttime. I like the way you watch me on TV. Do you notice the difference between that? One is you asked him what he liked about you, right? The first one was about you. The second one was about what you did for him. You see what I'm saying? That's the difference, because a narcissist only want what you can do for them, right? Understand, if he says, I like that you're a beautiful person. That's one. That's the person that likes you. If he says to you, I like the way you look when we walk into a crowded room, the way people look at you, that's him. He's talking about what he's gathering from the relationship. That's the number one way you can find out whether the person's a narcissist. It's plenty other ones, but if you're in casual conversation, you start to date about 2 times. On the second date, just ask them. Third date, Ask them. Because, hi, Dr. Strange, how are you? Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much. I appreciate that you're joining us today. Someone said, I'm a man and I'm in a physically and sexually abusive relationship. What should I do? Well, you're a man, and thank you so much for joining, because once again, listen, males and females go through this. This is not just males. This is not just females, it's males too. But if you're a man that's in a physically and sexually abusive relationship, my advice, my suggestion would be that you remove yourself from that relationship. I don't know all the details. If you want to contact me at a line, www.linewithkellydiane, drkellydiane.com. There you will find where you can book a free consultation for 15 minutes, and we can talk about it and see what's going on. But if you're in a physically, whether you're male or female, if you're in a physically and or a sexual relationship, yeah, I think you should remove yourself from that relationship, because that's never good for a male or female. And yes, guys can be physically abused. So that's why I'm not laughing. I do know of some people that are physically abused, sexually abused as well. Because listen, guys can be sexually abused. They do have a history of sexual abuse. They don't talk about it a lot, but I'm aware of some people, some males that do. I can't leave. She's blackmailing, compromising. Also, she has photographs. Also, I'm not sure if that's a wife or a girlfriend who has photographs. I'm not sure how. I think we can have a private conversation about that. Me personally, let's talk about the photographs. Don't be surprised if the narcissist does have photographs of you. Don't be surprised if they don't have videos of you, right? I had a person that told me I can't leave because they have photographs and videos. Well, there are laws in place that protect you. You can sue them. You can definitely. I saw another YouTuber who's a narcissistic survivor, and that person did do that to them, and they did successfully sue them. So there are ways to protect you. I personally said, if anyone has videos or sexual content about me, I did not consent for them to do that. And I'm going on record to say I did not consent for them to show that or for them to distribute that. Narcissists are known to record you sexually. They can record you sexually, and they will upload your information to porn sites. So be very, very careful when dealing with these narcissists. So, Dr. Strange, I'm not sure if I should. I'm trying not to. I don't know if I need to block you. Being dressed up as a girl, yeah. Basically, like I said, I think that maybe you need to get some help. I absolutely think you really need to get some help about what's going on here. It's a lot going on here, but every now and then we get some strange people on here. So, guys, you can disregard that. But the information that I was talking about, well, it is a safe space. It is a safe space. But I think that maybe you should contact me. My phone number is on there. My email's information is on there, and you can contact me. We can have a conversation. I'm so sorry that's happening to you. You don't have to stay in something like that, and we can find a way probably to get you out of that relationship. Why would you question I'm not questioning the veracity of your story at all. I don't question people's story. I believe anything. I've been through anything, and I believe anything. But I think what kind of had me a little concerned was being dressed up as a girl. That's a bit deep. It's a lot of details to what's going on in your life, and so that's why I figured maybe we could have a conversation about what's going on. So yeah, okay. So anyway. Listen, it has been an hour and 3 minutes. I have absolutely enjoyed talking to you guys. I hope I have been able to answer any questions that you guys have. I hope I have. I hope this has resonated with you so that you can go and find some additional help, or that you will contact me. Like I said, at www.linewithdrkellydiane.com. I am on Facebook. I am on YouTube. I am on Instagram. You can find me on any of these mediums, these social media platforms. If you need to talk to me, if you need to connect. Once again, I do 15-minute consultations, no cost to you, where we can discover whether I'm a good fit for you or we're a good fit for each other. If not, and hopefully I can send you to someone who is a better fit for you. If you prefer a male, that would be good, or a female. Here, like I said, I don't do the negative energy. I try to work only in positive energy. And so if you need someone that's going to work a little bit differently, that's fine. There's plenty of people on YouTube. Just please reach out and get help, okay? And as I always in my video, we've talked about some content, and we talked about a lot of content today. And so I always like to leave some type of resolution to any of the content that I had. And so what I am saying is that If you are in this situation, if you are trying to discover what's going on, look at my content and see if this is indeed who you have or what you're dealing with, so that you will know how to move forward in your life. Because you need to have this information to understand how this individual moves. You need to become knowledgeable of it, right? So if you're in it right now, if you're in this type of relationship, go back, review the videos, see if there's anything that resonates with you. Perhaps it's not a narcissist, perhaps it's a toxic person, right? And either way, it's not good. Toxic relationships is not good, right? So go back and look at the video, see if there's anything that resonates with you. Please feel free to reach out with me. If you feel a need to reach out with me, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this video, and send it to and share it to anyone who you think may be going through anything similar. Once again, even if they're not narcissists, if they're toxic people, this also will help them as well. So thank you guys. Once again, go back and watch the previous videos I posted. If there's any content that you guys would love to see me post or talk about on the channel, please put it below or email me and let me know. I have enjoyed this hour with you guys. You guys have asked some powerful, powerful questions. I really appreciate all the questions. Hopefully I've helped somebody and I've convinced you that what you're in is not a safe space. It is not a safe place for you to evolve. And understand that if you remain in this type of relationship, if you haven't watched any of my videos previously, I always tell you that a narcissistic relationship is going to go nowhere. It's going to send you either to the grave, probably. It's going to send you to a psychiatrist, probably. It's going to have you, it's going to take you down to nothing. It's going to take everything out of you. It's going to drain you of everything, because they come to kill, steal, and destroy. They're soul snatchers. They're energy vampires. And so they're going to take everything out of you, every bit of life out of you. They're going to snatch it. That's their intention, because they're so disordered. They can't stand to see you happy. And so when you're happy, they want to destroy you. They're going to destroy you, right? So you're not going to gain. You're not going to win. You cannot get a narcissist to change. They're not going to change, and you can't change it. And you were not given that assignment by God to change anyone anyway. We're only here to change ourselves and put the energy out there to help someone see that they need to change. So you're not going to change the narcissist. You can't love them enough. You can't sex them enough. You can't be a better person. You can't do anything. You can't admire them, adore them, anything enough, because everything you give a narcissist will never be enough. They cannot be filled. It's almost like taking a closed basket with 1,000 holes in it and try to fill it with water. It's not going to happen. And so, unfortunately, you're not going to be the one that's going to do it. No one is going to be the one that's going to do it. No one. And I want to let you know that, because there's so many people that standing in these relationships hoping that they're going to change, that God is going to change them. Only God can change them, but it's probably not going to be on your time. Okay, so my suggestion is that you seek help and that you come out of that relationship and you get yourself back together, because you are going to waste a lot of time being in something that's going nowhere. It is a great likelihood that that person is already cheating with something or somebody. They're already in a process of trying to discard you, or they've already in another relationship and you just don't even know about it, right? So none of these relationships have gone nowhere positive at all. So I'm here to encourage you that there is freedom on the other side of pain, that you don't have to stay there. We are here to, once again, align with ourselves, walk in awareness, and ascend into our God selves, so that when we ascend into our God selves, we then make better choices for our life and we begin to walk in our purpose. And being in a narcissistic relationship is not our purpose. So once again, guys, thank you so much for joining me today on the line with Dr. Kelly Diane. And I will be posting more videos, and I enjoyed this live, and I'll try to go live more often if I can. If you haven't had an opportunity, like I said, please subscribe to the channel so that I can have access to more of the features, so that I can bring you more content. Okay. Let me close this and see if there's anything. Someone said, thank you for doing this live. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. I enjoyed the interaction. So thank you so much, guys. Go back to the videos, watch them, and please leave comments down there if you would, so that other people can read the comments and know that they're in the right place and that they can go ahead and move forward in their healing. All right. Thank you so much, guys, and have an amazing day. Bye-bye.